Beth and Rip's reported spin-off title would confirm their show is really Yellowstone Season 6. Beth, Kelly Riley, and Rip's Cole Hauser spin-off title was just announced, and it confirms that the show will look as close as possible to the original, emulating Yellowstone Season 6. Despite Yellowstone dominating television for 5 seasons, executive producer Taylor Sheridan closed out his original series in December 2024. Yellowstone Season 5 saw the death of John Dutton IE after Kevin Costner's Yellowstone exit, which prompted the discontinuation of the flagship. However, ahead of the finale, a casting deal broke the news that Riley and Hauser would reprise Beth Dutton and Rip Wheeler in an offshoot. Taylor Sheridan has another modern-day Yellowstone saga in the works, starring Michelle Pfeiffer as Stacy Cliburn, but we don't know much about the Madison's story yet. The franchise has also teased a Yellowstone spin-off titled 6666, which would follow life on the Four Sixes Ranch in Texas. Additionally, Sheridan will add another prequel about the Dutton family into the mix, with his teased 1944 presumably picking up where 1923 Season 2's finale left off, albeit 20 years later. However, of all Yellowstone's new shows, including Case Dutton's, Luke Grimes, Beth and Rip's show will most resemble Yellowstone. Beth and Rip were the obvious choices to lead Yellowstone if it continued. There was a lot of buzz about Kelly Riley and Cole Hauser taking over for Kevin Costner as the neo-Western leads before their spin-off announcement. Still, while Taylor Sheridan decided to create a new show for Beth and Rip's continuation, the Lovebirds offshoot will echo the original, with its title as proof. A report from Bloomberg announced that Beth and Rip's spin-off will reportedly be called Dutton Ranch. Presumably, the title is the namesake of the couple's new ranch in Dillon, which we get a glimpse of in Yellowstone Season 5's finale. This moniker sounds familiar, since John's original ranch was called the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch. Dropping Yellowstone and keeping Dutton Ranch makes it clear that Beth and Rip aren't hiding their connections to the former largest contiguous ranch in the United States. Sheridan leans into Beth and Rip's spin-off's robust connection to Yellowstone. Dutton Ranch is arguably the strongest connection Sheridan could make to the original show and ranch without copying it, especially considering the Dutton Wheeler property won't sit adjacent to the Yellowstone National Park, which gave the original ranch and series its title. The Dutton Ranch title suggests that Beth and Rip's show will revolve around ranching, confirming it will have the same premise as the original. This contrasts with Case Dutton's Yellowstone spinoff, which will reportedly be a procedural show for CBS, probably focusing more on police work or investigation. That said, Case's show will be a far cry from the original, so we can expect Taylor Sheridan to incorporate the elements he's reusing from Yellowstone into Dutton Ranch. Plus, with Beth and Rip as its leads, Dutton Ranch is already continuing Yellowstone's story. As the main characters of the series, besides Kevin Costner, any continuation with Beth and Rip will look like Yellowstone's de facto continuation. Sheridan has already told us what to expect at the end of Yellowstone, with the ranch that Beth and Rip settle at 40 miles west of Dillon, Montana, surely being their new operation. Likely to include some Yellowstone Season 5 characters, Beth and Rip's show may also continue other Yellowstone stories, like what's next for some of the Yellowstone Ranch cowboys if they wind up working at the Dutton Ranch. Still, Beth and Rip's show will look a little different, especially without Kevin Costner, as did Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2. That said, further proving that Dutton Ranch would look a lot like life at the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch, a report from Puck suggested that Beth and Rip's spinoff was looking at casting a Kevin Costner type, further suggesting that Taylor Sheridan is getting as close as possible to what worked about Yellowstone. With so much crossover with the flagship, Beth and Rip's story can still differentiate itself by taking on the more refined qualities of Sheridan's other spin-offs. Taylor Sheridan's other Yellowstone shows, created after the original, differentiate themselves in their sophistication and tone. While it won't show a different era in time, Beth and Rip's offshoot could feel more like a Yellowstone prequel than a continuation of the flagship. Many have said that, while it's a great watch, Yellowstone has soap opera-like qualities, and a new show is a clean slate and an opportunity to break away from this label, which is a disservice to the franchise. While Beth will bring the drama regardless, Rayleigh and Hauser can elevate their show, and if recent rumors are to be believed, it might not even be spinning off as much as riding straight through the heart of the main story. According to multiple entertainment insiders and reports, the rumored spin-off centered on Beth Dutton and Rip Wheeler may be operating under a title that hints it's not truly a departure from Yellowstone, but a direct continuation, a stealthy Season 6 by another name. The alleged title, Yellowstone, 6666, Bloodlines. It's a name packed with implications, some subtle, others glaringly bold. The number 6666 links the show to the historic Four Sixes Ranch, which Taylor Sheridan purchased and has teased across the main series, and the spin-off 1883. But the addition of Bloodlines changes everything. That word evokes themes central to Yellowstone: legacy, heritage, conflict, and survival. And if the reports are true, it may suggest that Beth and Rip's story is the next chapter in the Yellowstone canon, not just a side project. Why this title suggests a secret Season 6. For years, Yellowstone fans have followed the twists and turns of the Dutton family's fight to preserve their land. With Kevin Costner's departure has John Dutton looming over the end of Season 5. Speculation has run wild about how the saga would continue. Some believed that the universe would split permanently into new directions, such as 1944 or the Matthew McConaughey-led project. But Bloodlines brings us back to familiar ground, literally and figuratively. Beth and Rip were the beating heart of the original series. Their fiery love story, often romantic and often destructive, anchored the show emotionally. And despite Rip's increasing attachment to the bunkhouse lifestyle and Beth's high-stakes corporate battles, the two always returned to one truth: they would do anything for each other and for the Yellowstone Ranch. Moving them to the Four Sixes, or letting them take over what's left of the Dutton Empire, wouldn't be a sidestep. It would be a full-speed continuation. The title, Bloodlines, could even be a nod to the long-running mystery of Jamie Dutton's paternity and the enduring feud between him and Beth. If Beth and Rip are front and center, you can bet that Beth isn't finished with her half-brother or the family name. Could the show follow them as they try to redefine the Dutton legacy on their own terms, away from the shadow of John? A shift in landscape, not in story. One of the hallmarks of Taylor Sheridan's world-building is his ability to expand a story outward while still tying everything back to the original source. 1883 and 1923 are period dramas, yes, but they are unmistakably about the Duttons. If Bloodlines follows Beth and Rip to the Four Sixes, it might be a story set in Texas, but its heart will still be Montana. There's also the matter of the unresolved storylines from Season 5. As of mid-2025, the second half of Season 5 has yet to air, leaving a giant question mark over the future of the ranch, Jamie's fate, and what Beth and Rip's next steps will be. A spin-off titled Bloodlines, starring these two characters, suggests we'll be picking up not after the events of the finale, but because of them. Maybe this isn't a new show at all. It's just the next volume in the ongoing novel. Strategic branding disguised as a spin-off. There's no denying that Yellowstone is a powerful brand. But with Costner exiting, the show faces a branding crisis. Can it still be Yellowstone without its patriarch? Sheridan seems to think so, and Bloodlines might be his way of proving it. Rather than risk backlash by labeling it Season 6 without John Dutton, he might be offering a rebranded continuation. Same universe, same story, different title. It's clever, really, a new name that allows for creative freedom while still giving fans what they want. This tactic mirrors moves we've seen in other franchises. Think of The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, or Better Call Saul. These shows technically exist on their own, but they're so intrinsically linked to their parent series that fans consider them necessary viewing. Bloodlines could do the same. You might not call it Yellowstone Season 6 on the title card, but in your heart, you'll know it is. Rip and Beth, the next generation of Dutton power.